He was going to be stuck with them for a year, people he referred to as low-class skunks. The two housemates started inviting their friends over, friends Elliot also didn't. One of them asked Elliot if he was a virgin. Elliot admitted that he was without hesitation. The other one started talking about what they had slept with. Elliot hated Angel in particular, believing he was the ugliest of all of them, calling him an ugly animal in his face. He ran back to his room and started punching the wall, causing the others to laugh at his bizarre reaction. The next day, Elliot confronted Angel, telling him about how superior he himself was and that he was very low class. Angel, after that insult, came after him, but
I mean, I went to ASU for almost a decade. Not once did I meet a person that talks in this manner.
Big hello to you from
it's really
myself,
bizarre
John
behavior.
McCarthy. Pleased to
As
welcome
far
you
as
to
Elliot's
PGA Tour
reactions to,
2K25. Guess what? It's time for the golf. We are playing a quick 3 holes of matchmaking today. Okay, here we go. Let's have a nice round out there. There we go. Great contact.
Hey, I'm seeing some comments about my album. I really appreciate it. So go to StevieWeebyBandcamp.com and to kind of link this in with the Elliot.
And he's ready to go. Let's see how this hole goes for him.
Intel lines and some of my music. That's another way to channel some of your frustrations. And how about this? Elliot was a good writer. How about you write a book about your struggles, man? That way other motherfuckers can learn from it. And guess what? Next thing you know, you're at Barnes & Noble doing a book signing, meeting females. Hello?
They went out to eat.
All right, let's see how he does here on this hole.
Walked in, James muttered, "We're fucked," as he knew Elliot would probably flip out. James tried to calm him down before he dumped a drink on their heads, pointing out a nearby security guard. Elliot then left in a huff. This day really poisoned their friendship, and Elliot didn't understand why James was even angry. Elliot started telling James about all the ways he wanted to kill those boys. He wanted to skin them alive and hear their agonized screams. James's mood changed from angry to disgusted.
Who says that? That's some really dark shit. He wants to skin them?
And let's see how this hole goes down for him.
Then Elliot broke down and started to cry in front of him. He left the house crying all the way.
Do you notice a pattern kind of formulating here? Anytime he would see another dude with a girl, he would A, cry,
second shot for him on this one,
and B, call his mom. Come on, dude.
James never invited him over again. It was finally time for Elliot to move into his new apartment. He was mainly just glad he'd never have to see Ryan and Angel again, although he feared running into them by chance. Santa Barbara was turning out to be just like
this
War
exceeds the
He was
limit
still
of
alone,
my
still afraid to
mathematics
approach others,
estimation
still having
skills.
tantrums, and
I'll just
still
say you're
staring at
extremely
young
far from
couples in
the
a jealous rage.
And let me tell you something. If I were his roommate, I would just need a week. I would need 1 week, and because dude, this motherfucker is living under the same roof as me. I would have to inspect all his behaviors, figure out.
All right, got most of the way there.
And guess what?
Okay, here he goes. He's got a very long putt to deal with. Let's see what happens. I think this one's breaking to the left.
Math was his next class to run. He didn't even want to go into the library anymore after seeing
Elliot needs better help.
Elliot was able to make a single friend organically while sitting around in the apartment courtyard, an international student from China named Andy Chan. Andy seemed to share the same desire to hang out and make friends that he did. Elliot found him intelligent and interesting enough to be worthy of his friendship, so he would continue to hang out with him every once in a while, usually going out to eat or just walking around. From time to time, Andy would even introduce Elliot to his friends. But despite finally making some potential friendships, Elliot didn't treasure them. He still felt lonely and inferior. Getting some friends didn't get him any closer to finding a girlfriend.
And here's a look at his putt
so
for
he never
pars.
opened up to them or considered
Looks like
them
this
to be
one's
true
breaking to the
friends
left.
of his mind.
See, if I were Elliot, I would bond with Andy Chan. Is that his name? That would have been my homeboy. I'd been like, yo, let's get some Chinese food, dog.
This one's from around 9 feet.
Let's go here. Let's go. That would have been my road dog,
right.
you know? But Elliot was just, he was a hater, okay? I'll say that. Elliot Roger was a hater.
He soon fell back into his old vice, booting up World of Warcraft once again. He played non-stop for a month until his new housemate arrived, Spencer. In casual conversation, Spencer mentioned having a girlfriend. Needless to say, Elliot couldn't have a friendship with him after that. He didn't understand why all of these boys he saw as ugly were getting girls while he couldn't. Spencer was even shorter than Elliot. After Spencer...
You know why they were getting girls? Because they actually
And that one's in the cup.
talked to them, Elliot. I mean, you would think he's an intelligent guy, right? Like this guy,
And
like
here we
he
go.
probably
This one
got
for
good
par.
grades. He was a good writer. He liked reading books. Like that's, and you don't know that. You didn't figure that out. You need to talk. You need to talk.
Ooh, wish I could have given you
to
that
gain
one.
any kind of relationship or to get some
Okay,
kind
here's a
of social
4-foot putt
interaction
for us.
going.
Spending so much time blaming his own height for his lack of
Don't get down on yourself just yet. Starting off over par, but you know what? We're going to fix that as we progress through this course today.
Let's calm him down a little bit. More than hating Spencer as a person, Elliot hated
And
having someone
that'll
around
do.
that could see how pathetic his life was. Normally, he could play it cool in public at least, but Spencer was able to see who he really was when he dropped some cool stuff. He knew it was only a matter of time before Spencer realized he never had any girls over, while his very life had...
Who cares? How about this? A, get a single dorm room or a single apartment where you don't live with anybody. I'm sure your mom could have afforded that as well, right? And B, no one cares. Like, do you think people care like who's bringing
This tee
who
shot
to
should
your room
play.
or what they're doing? It's like they're not really thinking about you, Elliot, like that. As long as you don't fuck with their shit.
He's ready to tee off. Let's see what happens here with him.
Elliot got some money from his mom to go out and buy even more clothes.
Oh shit, Jeremiah, you coming?
He then got some more shirts and a pair of Hugo Boss sneakers.
All right, bombs away. Let's hit that fairway.
Okay, Jeremiah.
He has good income stream coming in from the money of his mom and both his grandmother for syndicate. He because of such a money. I feel love effort into resting night. These sunglasses here.
And he's just about ready to tee off. Let's see how he does.
I'll put him on. See? Hold on. Sorry.
I don't care how expensive your sunglasses are, pal. You know, a true G will be able to get girls with $3 sunglasses. That's when you know a motherfucker's a G. You're like, man, you got those at the swap meet, and you got Tina, Brittany, and Jennifer. You're going on dates with all them?
See? Look at how fabulous that is. Elliot went home for Thanksgiving. At one of the usual get-togethers, James was there. Elliot was puzzled. He asked him why he still seemed so upset over an argument that occurred a few months prior. James told him, keep your proximity. Elliot was furious. Christmas came around with the same result. James wasn't quite as standoffish as before, but there's still a noticeable drift between the two. Elliot said goodbye to James for the final time. The two would never see each other again.
Oh, that was a little wayward, out of
Elliot
bounds.
flew back to England to visit his grandma, Alma, for Christmas. She gave him a gold 22-carat necklace. Elliot loved it. This was perfectly in line for his new high-class fashion lineup. From then on, he wore it every day. Although the trip was nice, Elliot couldn't escape his usual thoughts. There were a lot of blonde girls in England after that. He wondered how different his life would have been if he hadn't ever moved to the United States. He didn't acknowledge that he would still be
Look at this life of privilege, y'all.
And you're going to end up nice and safe in the fairway after that.
Even back then, we were broke as fuck. I would have to sneak into the community.
And he's got around 150 or so.
And like the homies, we all managed, you know, to at least talk to girls, you know.
Self-regardless, feeling that the environment might be to blame. Everything was turning out to be the exact opposite of what Elliot had wanted.
Out of the sand.
His first semester was nearly over and he had failed in all of his stories. He would rather die than fail again. But deep down, he knew that if he were going to die, he wanted to get some sort of revenge first. He didn't want to, but he felt like he had to, at least at this point in time. He spent a week at his mom's house before heading back to Santa Barbara. He was ready to give life another try, albeit less motivated this time around. He met up with Philip and Addison, hiking up to the iconic Hulk.
Pirate your own game.
that
Dude,
almost
I had like NBA Live or something, and then my homeboy Jamil had Street Fighter. And we made do, you know?
Hollywood sign and watching the sunset. They then went to the Getty Museum. This was when a few girls started checking Addison out. Elliot, getting jealous, asked Philip if any girls seemed to be
Milo's
checking him
with
out.
his mom.
Philip didn't notice
Okay,
and
here's
let it
his
work.
fourth shot.
He ended up back in Santa Barbara soon enough, ready to try and build some confidence again. Now he had a designer clothes, shoes, and necklace to show off. He was even trying to return to his British accent. He hoped the girls would take notice. Despite hitting with Spencer, the two barely talked, although they remained cordial. That was until Spencer brought a girl over. Elliot was enraged, jealous, and even ready to fight. But
Oh, man. Good chip. And here is his putt to
that night,
save
confronted
putt.
Spencer, saying he shouldn't be
one's
proud
breaking
for
left
being
to
a very,
right.
quote, ugly whore. Spencer became quite angry, understandably, and their casual friendship was forever ruined.
What a hater. Did you hear that?
And 5 feet
His
left to
roommate
go.
ran over a girl. Something Elliot has never done. And then after the girl leaves, he would make fun of Spencer for that shit.
And a great effort on this hole to bounce back after the bogey on the last. Great work. That's a birdie. And he's got around 4 feet to go here.
The second semester started. Elliot rolled up the class with an online exchange shirt and...
All right, this next putt's for his par.
My real friend, if I was Spencer's roommate, I'd be like, I would dap him up like, dude, good for you, dude. You have someone over here?
And let's see, he's setting up now, 2-footer.
You did great, pal. You did some fucking
Okay,
great
safely home with that putt.
Good for you, Spencer.
All right, that one's going to put
That's
you
the
up to even
difference.
par.
Okay? You gotta learn. You gotta learn.
Final hole of this contest coming up. And the fairway does tilt away from us, a bit of a downslope up at the landing area. That ball's going for days. It's never going to come down. Silky swing.
What's gonna happen, Elliot?
A tall, muscular guy with a buzz. He shouted out,
All right, let's see what he does on this one.
It was then that he repeated his old pattern of dropping the...
Someone says I was definitely throwing his putt. You know what? That's crazy you would say that, because I think if he maybe would have masturbated more, he could have prevented this from all happening. I don't know. I'm not referring to the
let's
entirety of the
see
whole
how
thing.
this tee shot
What's going on,
fares for him.
Look, hey Steve, you rock blood. Shout out to Eslip at Zealandia, Saskatchewan, Canada. Shout out to Canada. We got Canada in here, folks. But I lost my train of thought. Sorry, guys.
Class. He was finished with math. He couldn't stomach being in the room with a cute girl who had a boyfriend. He lost all hope for his life in Santa Barbara. His life wasn't changing, and neither was he. Elliot accepted that he was, more than likely, going to be a virgin forever. He felt as if he would suffer humiliation like this for the rest of his life.
Here.
He felt that something must be wrong with the girls themselves. Something about their sense of attraction must be broken. Once that thought creeped into his head,
Coming out of the deep stuff might not be enough. Oh, wound up in the deep stuff on that one.
Yeah.
Elliot, after reading what he had read about George Sodini, started to consider carrying out a violent revenge plot on
Okay,
his
about
own.
170
he felt that
yards
he had
to
to
the pin.
lash out in some way due
That
to
green
these
slopes away from
self-perceived
it, so this
injustices.
approach could go a little long if you're not careful.
In his day of retribution, if he couldn't have the life that the other students had, he would sit.
Shout out to my main man, Joseph, minute that. So Rich Crackers and Pepperoni at Ralph. Good looking out, Joseph.
Well, this approach is leaning a bit to the right.
He dropped all of his spring
Well, better luck next time.
The day of retribution as his most realistic task. He wrote the plans out in his diary.
And from the deep stuff.
Thinking about these plans made him feel trapped. Part of him wanted to do it, but part of it didn't.
You know what's crazy? I didn't mean to cut off this retribution letter, this evil intent, but dude, You're in Santa Barbara, bro. If you're not getting girls, are you by the beach, bro? Pick up your surfboard. Let's get active, because that could have really kind of done something to his spirits. Like if he got good at surfing, I don't know. Maybe nothing would have helped. I'm just saying, if I were in Santa Barbara and I wasn't getting any girls, skate park, find out where the skate shop is, surf shop, go to the beach, find out some activities, whatever. Video games.
He hoped that there was some other cash that he just couldn't see. He got home for the weekend in March. On Sunday, March 11th, 2012, Elliot went with his mother and
You sink
sister
this,
to a
you
game
could
of tennis
save
concert.
par.
He felt that going
This
to
one's
another
leaning
exclusive
tiny
event
little bit
would
to the
up his
left.
confidence once again. He spent a lot of time in the background taking the concert on his phone. The next day, he ended up to go with Peter Slayers, the red carpet premiere of the Hunger Games, and even more exclusive.
Bounce on
His movie was very highly friends with the director himself, Gary Ross, scoring cameras and scenes with the lead.
What, bro? What do you need?
Oh,
You want
man. I guess bogey it is here.
The two were getting fairly connected within the industry.
He's got a
Elliot took this
10-foot
as a
putt
chance
here.
to smugly smile at the fans on the sidelines, feeling he was rubbing his presence in their faces. Now that Elliot had dropped all of his classes and obligations, he had nothing to do. He had nothing but time. He started trying to find more ways to become a millionaire. Feeling that he was, in his own words, an extraordinary, magnificent person
And if he
destined for
drops
great
this, it'll
things,
save
he
par.
felt that destiny would put the money right into his pockets. He couldn't think of any way to make this happen, though. This left only one choice: more lottery tickets. Seeing the current Mega Millions jackpot,
I just know I need to win this lottery. How else would I get rich?
Okay, he's got
I
2
need
feet
money
to go
make
here.
money. If there is any justice in this world, I will win this. I deserve it more than anyone. See, this is going back to the self-entitlement here. Like, why? Out of everyone, there's a lot of humans on this earth. Like, you think you deserve that?
Okay, let's
he saw
put this
dollar
one in
signs
the
in his
cup and then
eyes. He decided to
bomb over
spend
to the
all of his
clubhouse.
remaining money on lottery tickets, although he would set aside $5,000 just in case he needed to carry out the day of retribution after all. This gave him roughly $1,000 to spend on lottery tickets. He still did not win, but he knew that the more tickets he bought, the better his chances would be. Even then, he still didn't win. 3 other people did, but not him. He tried to contact James in order to confide.
Finishing your day with a tap-in bogey.
He messaged him
All
on
right,
Facebook
and
to
as
voice
that
his
one
complaints about
drops,
this.
we got a tie at the top.
Simple that he didn't want
That means we're heading to a playoff hole. Can't wait to see you
Elliot
win
just
it
couldn't
there.
understand why.
Okay,
This
one
was the last
hole
time
playoff. Let's see what happens. Best score will get the win. If there's still a tie, we'll give the win to whoever was closest to the pin off the tee. And you are next off the tee in this playoff hole. Let's do this. Well, it wasn't your best swing. Well, we missed the green, but that's all right. Life does go on. All right, let's see how he does.
I'm just saying that would have fixed him, but at least I'm guessing if he would have asked his mom or dad, like, hey, I haven't talked to a female my whole life. I haven't dated, I haven't kissed. So this guy, he's never even
Going with the
kissed a girl.
hybrid. Okay, we're about 205 to the pin from here.
Another angle. Oh, I've been watching my car, brother.
So what are your thoughts on
Man, this guy, this is.
Go ahead,
There's a lot. There's a lot going on.
Here. Get on the chair. Now raise this came up a little bit.
Is that okay? If I do a little bit of this? There we go. Oh, of course it isn't broke shut up, baby.
All right, this one's for bogey.
On
And
the
it looks like this one's
YouTube
going
channel,
pretty
baby.
hard right to left.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
So, what are your thoughts on? So you've been watching Elliot?
I've been watching.
Oh
What are your
my,
thoughts?
flew right by the hole.
When you've been his friend,
Okay, he needs this putt to drop if he wants to
Hey,
win.
that's more
Yeah, I
pepperoni
think this
rich
one's
crackers
breaking to
on
the
that
left.
guy.
So what are your thoughts on it? Like, What do you feel?
First of all, I was watching.
And from there, not a bad result. And this is his look at the potential playoff winning putt right here.
And saying that she wasn't an ugly whore.
I like what you're doing. Let me get you a sparkling one. I like
And with that, he will take the win in this playoff.
Oh, dude!
Unfortunate for you,
I said.
but,
So Steve told me a
gotta
while ago,
hand it
guys.
to him.
He's like,
Played
I'm
well.
starting to do live streams on Thursday.
With
And
that,
Cash
I
was like,
gotta say
ever
goodbye.
around or
This
whatever.
has
Oh
been a
wow,
pleasure.
Waterloo
It was exciting.
strawberry.
Elliot wouldn't have offered that.
No,
And
Elliot
you're
definitely
all-
wouldn't have offered that.
Talk to you next time.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So anyway, let's see a little bit more. Let's I can't believe it. Hey man, look at this. This is
Hey,
the OBS.
So one thing that I have to ask you
Yes.
about, just the way you lie about it.
We're live.
Okay,
We
okay.
can't edit it out.
Give it the
I mean,
play, brother.
just think about it because we can't edit
Okay,
anything
we
out.
can't edit anything out. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
So how often do you read the chat when people aren't cooking?
All right, that's something else. I think,
There's
surprisingly,
I'm just saying, it's a live show.
surprisingly, I look at it a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But
but
there's
last
quite
week,
a few messages for
No,
me to
no,
break through.
no,
For me to say,
no,
so like, I'm headed over.
no,
I'm coming,
absolutely
make sure
not.
your gate's
I'm always
open.
looking to the right. I'm always looking to the
Okay,
right.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying, all right.
Okay, let's.
James was done with them, and Elliot
Whenever you feel like
desired to see Philip
commentating,
Madison after crying in front of them.
Touch the space bar.
Okay,
Let's just make it clear, man.
Elliot walked in and jumped around the park and saw a group of college kids kickball in the grass. They looked like jocks, the kinds of men he hated the most. Worse than that, they had some attractive blonde girlfriends on the sideline. One of these girls was even showing her bare stomach. Elliot was both aroused and enraged. He couldn't handle his
He was pretty good.
All right.
He was an ugly.
He wasn't ugly. Yeah.
I'm just saying,
He could have gotten girls. He definitely could have gotten girls. If you and I can
Say
get
it towards
girls,
the mic. Say it towards.
if Steve and I can get girls, that guy can get girls.
Hey, hallelujah, brother.
Steve and I are
Hallelujah, brother.
Steve and I are close
Yeah.
in relationships. Okay.
But the thing is, that is so truthful.
Yeah.
Because we're not cool, jock, good looking, Sigma Chi guy. Okay?
Right. We're not Cobra
Yeah.
Kai. We're not Sigma Chi.
handle these emotions. So he drove out to Kmart. He bought a Super Soaker water gun, filled it up with some orange juice, and went back to the car.
Something just said,
Hi,
Jeremiah.
my name's John McCarthy,
Here's the
and
plus
I
about
would
this
like
whole thing.
to
No, but
welcome
wait.
you
Steve hasn't
to the
even
PGA
put
Tour
in,
2K25.
but it's also playing through the
Let's get this
speakers
going.
in his room.
We are playing
So
a
I
quick
can hear
round of
what's
3
going
holes
on.
today
Yeah.
in this matchmaking
Yeah.
affair.
Jeremiah
Have a
is here because I have the
fantastic round
speaker
out
right
there.
here. I got these are nice on guitar.
They're great. They're
Like
great.
24.
And
They're-
he's
they're
ready
longer-
to tee
yeah, they're
off
all-
here.
guitar.
Let's see how this goes.
So, question: why
Yeah.
do you have this in?
Because I was talking to my girl earlier, and she was helping, like, at the beginning, she helps me out, like,
Gotcha.
yeah, I'll take it out.
Coaching you through it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Let out a scream. as he
Oh, shout out to Angie. Good looking out. Angie and Eric, we love you.
Love you.
sprayed all of them with the juice.
Okay,
The boys
give
started
this
to
a
scream at him and
smash.
run towards him, once again causing Elliot to run to his car and flee the scene. He drove over.
So there's kids just minding their own business. He goes to Kmart and buys a suit. Now, if you're playing, so you like basketball, right?
I love that.
Let's say you're playing a basketball game and some guy was mad and you put those
And the tee shot's looking decent.
What would you do?
I'd be pretty upset. Orange juice is stupid.
But would you attack him?
I'm like, what are you doing, man?
No, seriously. You wouldn't do that.
Hey.
No, be
Yeah.
real.
If
What would you
somebody
really
scored
do?
at me
He's
with
looking at
orange
around
juice in
Yeah.
the face,
95 yards.
I'd
to
be a
the pin.
little upset.
Not just your face, your whole body.
Oh, I'd be really upset.
Yeah, fair enough.
Away, worried that some cameras at the park might have been
Shout out to Joseph Manabat.
Oh, shout out to James Davis saying, hungry, mungry,
And for the
baby.
effort for joining the stream. Hell yeah, dog. Every Thursday, baby.
recorded the whole thing. Back at home, Spencer was complaining to the management about Elliot's outbursts. He filed a formal complaint saying that Elliot,
Oh, the
quote,
line's
has
good.
huge psychological issues
Oh.
and severe emotional problems,
Oh,
causing him a
every
ticking time
6
bomb
seconds
waiting
around.
to explode. Spencer requested that either he or
Yeah.
Elliot be moved to a new room as soon
Oh,
as humanly
yeah.
possible to avoid further conflict.
Dude, Elliot.
Elliot was all set to be transferred to a room in the main complex.
Julian says challenge.
They like the challenge. Dude,
You know one thing, we didn't do anything to a booger. We never did a booger.
This might find some rough. No, it's unlucky. Missed the green on that one. And from here, he's
I
looking at
would
around
say
185
his setup
yards to the
is
pin.
rather impressive. I'm not lying. I'm really proud of you for the setup. He's running it through OBS, like we're watching this YouTube video.
And
Like,
with
do you
that,
do
he
premium?
will stick the green, but
We do, so there's
ways
no
away
ads on the
from the
live
cut.
stream. Wow. Not a frugal bros move, but I appreciate it that you're doing it for the top tier quality content.
It's setting up for your fourth stroke here.
Big Gator says, "Notice me, I love you."
What's up, Gator?
What's up, dude?
Anything you want to say about,
All right, this is his birdie look.
Don't you have a
Stand up on the
stand up
spot.
on the spot?
Well, we do those like. Well,
Did you want to promote some, like, check out stand up on the spot?
Well, yeah, those are like ongoing episodes. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah.
He didn't really care much
Oh,
about
watch
the
that.
Yeah.
I-
I'm trying to get this because
He
this
figured he
is
would win the
part
lottery
2, so
with
this
those
is how much
days.
I have left.
His
much
new
left?
place turned out to be the first room he stayed at by pure chance.
Okay, this is a very
We're trying to get through that
long
whole
putt
night.
for him.
Bought 5 more
Well,
lottery
I
tickets,
interrupt-
feeling that this would be
This is the
it.
thing is I didn't make it transformative. I need to make it transformative, so I have to
Oh.
once in a while. You know what I mean?
Hey,
But let's let it
this
play.
might
So
be
yeah.
the day he
And then I have
finally
something.
won. He saw the winner was from California.
This
He
next
became
putt.
Pausing. We're trying to get you to tell me Roger
We're
again,
trying to
man.
get there. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
But can I, after we watch for a little bit, can I drop an exclusive that hasn't
Oh,
been said anywhere that'll be just for your live stream?
Yeah. Feel
Okay.
free. Right? You want to wait
This
or
one's
don't
about
we
to
got
be
to
decided.
Shout out to Ryan RZ.
Whoa, heck yeah.
Hell yeah, Ryan.
He went home and flew into a tantrum, screaming and crying for hours and hours. Nobody else was in the apartment, so he took this chance to let all of his rage out, swinging
let's
around
just
his
drop
full sword
one
and a pocket
shot
knife
on
as
this
he
hole. This one's
screamed
for bogey.
agony. He drank an entire bottle of wine at once, getting him so drunk that he spilled the remainder of his drink on his laptop, ruining it. He sobbed into his pillow until the alcohol put him to sleep. 2 new housemates moved in, a curly-haired boy named Chris and an Asian-American boy named John. He was content with these 2. In quiet and friendly.
Now, if Chris was your roommate and you didn't give me girls, then the first week you moved into that girl.
Oh, come on, get in there.
I think it'd be hard not to be.
And now this from 4 feet.
No, but Elliot hasn't tried. Like, let's say you haven't even been trying.
Oh, and then I guess you don't have the right
And this
to be
putt
there.
is for the double.
Even better, they didn't have a screen. They played video games all day like we did.
Okay, time to head over to the next hole.
The day of retribution for
All right, 2 over par at the moment.
It would indeed give him time to plan, but he decided it would be a bad idea. There were simply too many cops out on Halloween night. One shot from them would bring his plans to an untimely end. He didn't attend classes at all that fall, lying to his parents that he was attending as normal. He stayed in his room.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
He felt
Heading
as
a
if
little
he were
bit
at
to the
a
left
foreign
on the
Boys
approach.
are back in town. What up, Tweet? I'll be on later.
It had to be one
Oh,
or the other.
heck yeah.
Elliot once again
Alrighty,
tried to
he's
win the lottery.
good to go on this one.
The
Let's see
Powerball
how he
jackpot was
does.
very high. He just knew that this time would be the time that he won. The only way he could get a ticket in
the
time
lottery?
was if he
So, if you were a virgin and you didn't get girls and you won the lottery, would you be able to
And
get
here's a look
girls?
at their hybrid.
Yeah.
drove to
That's his
Arizona.
goal.
and
Yeah.
there. So
All right,
Rather
interested
than be
to see what
outgoing,
Yeah,
Yannick's going for this
exactly.
here.
Yeah.
the suffering, the loneliness, the frustration. It would all be over once he got the jackpot. He finally would have a room in life with his
Oh, yeah.
beautiful, long, white girlfriend.
Well, that one wasn't super clean.
But everyone had finally
A little wayward on the approach. That's all right, though.
He didn't win. He accepted defeat. He drove out to a park and cried in his car for hours on end. He called both of his parents, telling them about all of his woes. He felt they must be so ashamed of him. That was it. He felt that the only option left would be to carry out his day of retribution. Now that he wasn't going to get rich, the idea was more real than it had ever been. Elliot desired to buy a gun, but worried his previous diagnosis of autism would prevent him from doing so. He had applied for exercise benefits, which was a supplemental income for people in the U.S.
I got the middle school dance.
Okay, he's setting this one up
Yeah,
from
it's scary.
another.
That's what I'm
area
saying. It's
code.
scary.
You had to
It's a
do
scary
it.
See how he
thing.
You
does
might
with
get
this
shot
one.
down.
Exactly.
But
But
the
you
worst
need-
thing is if you don't ever even ask at all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Who suffer from either mental or physical health problems that make full-time
And
work
he's
difficult.
looking at a
In order to
17-foot
apply,
putt.
he needed to make his diagnosis.
He's going a bit to the right.
However, none of this would prevent him from buying a weapon. That could be because he never had any official diagnosis, according to his father. Elliot went out to a gun shop called
And
Gillette
he
Gun
drops
Supply,
it in
deciding
for
to
the bird.
34 pistol. He signed all the
And
papers
about
and was hoping
14
he could pick it
feet
up
to
at
go.
He eventually got it, bringing it back to his room. He felt a sense of power as he marveled at his purchase.
We're pretty
I'm
much
just-
maybe getting demonetized.
I'm just saying. The gun elect-
No, didn't quite
the
get there, did it?
electrocuted.
Uh-huh.
And here's his look
Thank
at
God we
par.
didn't do that. It scared me.
Yeah, said.
Who's the alpha male now, bitches?
Ooh, just missed.
James wasn't his friend.
Okay, just a few more inches to go.
He did go visit all monitors but refused to go out on the town experience.
All right, now let's take a peek at the scorecards. Currently 3 over par for the day.
He didn't want to be that shameful for himself. His trip would be one of the last parts of his life he could even enjoy. After playing feedback over LA, he fantasized about being a god looking down upon the city. He imagined restoring them all with some kind of supernatural power. This would be a fun
Okay, we gotta read that.
You need it.
Okay, it says this is
Tee
from
shots looking
Kermit
decent.
Front. I feel like Stevie and Jeremiah still need babysitters. What?
for a conversation with Jason.
And let's see how he does on this hole.
It was now New Year's Eve. Elliot was back to staying with his mom.
Somebody just said, "Is this a sleepover? Only one bed, guys."
See, Elliot never got
This one
Elliot
looks
never
pretty
got
good.
a
Should be in the
good
fairway.
Elliot's like that.
Okay, full send. Let's go.
He found it preferable to be with rest in his life. He went back to Santa Barbara, once again signing
You
That
slicing
can
my
be
fucking
what
tee
we
shots.
intended,
That's so
but,
scared.
yeah,
You're
we'll
gonna do the middle.
deal with it.
You look at me.
You know, there's a lot of, especially
Fucking
on
slice
the campus, there's a lot of girls there. Do you think you could have met a girl?
On campus?
Yeah.
Yeah. See? That's our point.
Instead, he decided to go out to Arizona and buy some more lottery tickets. He was living in a fog at this point. He didn't even consider how low his chances of winning were. He did it anyway. In fact, he did this 3 times, driving out to Arizona every time to do so. But again, he lost.
You're definitely doing
time.
part 3.
He wrote,
Any hope I had of becoming wealthy at a young age was finally and indefinitely
Shout out to Julian Sandoval. Love watching the dark shit. You can see the girls thing. Thanks for making my week, y'all. Yeah.
Can I tell them?
Yeah,
The swing was a little bit off.
Okay.
And here we
This
go
video's not out
with
anywhere.
his
You
second
Shout out-
shot.
Shout out to Ivan Armenta. Why aren't you at the riots vlogging, Steve? I'll get there. I'll make my way there. I just don't know where to go. I'm somewhere.
the life I had envisioned for myself would never come to pass. The children I would have in the future with a beautiful blonde
I'm actually scared to go. Someone say why am
I haven't gone down.
but that's where the shit
Yeah.
goes.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Listen. This is exclusive, and people have been asking for a while. All right. I was planning on releasing this tomorrow
Yeah.
on Instagram, but you guys, the live stream, TV lovers, you guys could be exclusive. People have been asking for Steve and I, obviously, to do more podcasts and stuff together. We get that all the time. We did something that we posted a little bit about, but it's actually going to come out on the 23rd
All right, time
of
to get
June.
out of the bunker. Let's do this.
And
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah.
We
Say
did
that
it.
again?
on the 23rd of June,
Yeah.
Coriano Loco and Shank
I heard about that guy.
had a little reunion at the Comedy Store.
Oh, he came by?
He came by, and I'm going to play you guys
Oh, no.
a 15-second teaser, okay? And you guys get the exclusive. Can you guys see this? Let's see. Here, wait, I'll turn down my brightness. One second. Oh, that's kind of better. Yeah. Okay, let me show this.
You're out of the bunker, and I've seen closer sand shots before, but on the green now, it's a plus, right? And look what this fella has in front of him. He has an extremely long putt to deal with.
Okay, this should work. Yeah, this should work. You're seeing a little bit of in the screen, but okay, here we go.
And this should be a fun watch. Let's see how you do with this long, long putt.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Well, this one's on a line.
Oh, yes,
And it drops.
motherfucker. Yes!
Well done.
Look at this good-looking guy. Look at this guy.
Okay,
looks like
11
me.
feet
Yeah,
out.
baby.
And this
Yeah,
one's
tune in
official
for
enough
that.
to play.
June 29th,
23rd.
23rd.
Almost.
There won't be any beautiful blonde girlfriend for me now. No girl will be my girlfriend.
And this putt from
But
10
I played
feet.
well. I learned
I
that.
think we got a right to left break on this one.
To a life lonely virginity.
Elliot spent most of his time at home. He couldn't handle seeing the couples outside and bored. He decided to focus his mind on something else for a while, editing Wikipedia. A lot of his efforts centered around painting his grandfather George's entry in a more positive light, something he received multiple warnings for. He also repeatedly attempted to remove Wikipedia from freedom of footnote, making it known that he likely had a fascination with
And he'll end things off today with a par. All right, at the end of this one, you wound up at 2 over par.
Oh, you won
But
90%
on
of them.
started
behalf of
uploading
myself
more
and
and
the
more
team
videos
here
to
at
the
HB
YouTube
Studios,
channel.
thank you
Most
very
of these
much
videos
for the round.
drastically
We'll see you
shifted
next
back
time.
They had really
and
rich
forth between Elliot ranting and lamenting about his troubles and bragging about his freedom.
Military Falcons, that's super dope. But even dudes that play are only doing it an hour a day. This dude should have attended the statistics course. Love you both, Stevie and Jerry. Stay murder free, y'all. Dad?
Home on life.
Home one life. I have to make an announcement. I don't know if we can get through this whole second part, guys. We might have to do a part 3, Elliot Roger.
There's a part
I apologize
3.
because
That's a part 3.
there might be a part 3. I'm just saying, well, let's see what we can do.
And the ultimate gentleman. I mean, look at them. I'm gorgeous. Dressed. I'm sophisticated and magnificent. You know, I was thinking about how sad and unfair my life has been. All because girls haven't been attracted to me. I've been going through college 2.5 years now. And in those 2.5 years, I've had to rot in bleak and sad loneliness.
He doesn't approach women, though?
While other guys
He never tried to. He expected them to come to him.
You think he's that good looking as the women who's coming to him?
He said it.
Ain't gonna happen, brother.
and to enjoy all the pleasure, sex, socializing and partying. I've never.
When's the first time you approached the female or like took the girl?
Oh man, I mean, I had like very innocent like little girls, but not snake girl, but like that. So I kept doing more cheeks. That was like something like that. I was a late bloomer. You know that about me, brother.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh,
The
yeah.
honesty. Here we go.
People, you go like this. you know, I was at Sigma, you know. People have called me a Benzo.
Oh, but hey,
Because the
dude,
shark fins.
hey, you didn't struggle? Like,
No.
you didn't go to the dances?
I was at the dances. Even if I didn't have dates, I'd go to the dances. I was on the day.
But what difference do you actually, not on cheap, but a real kiss?
Real kiss?
Like a real kiss, yeah.
It's just so it's like one and one, bro. You guys can watch my incel documentary after this, baby. Dude, yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
It's like
wow.
a true one.
Oh,
Yeah. Like that's small.
No girl at that time ever expressed any of this. And every single day, I have to convince some outside all these lesser men walking around with beautiful girls. It's not fair.
He made an alternate YouTube account called Valtherion around that time as well, mainly using the account to post.
this guy is great. This is a great guy. I love watching that. Yeah, this is on YouTube, right? Yeah.
Anonymous troll comments without using his main account. A lot of his comments went beyond mere trolling and tended to more show off his true colors, such as,
Lol, your last name is Gonzalez. That means your dad is probably a gardener or a construction site laborer. And you're calling Swifty sad? Haha, shut up, you Mexican scum.
on a video of a laughing
See,
baby.
that deserves an ass kicking right there, dude.
Mhm.
It's that, like, dude, you can't be saying nothing. What are you talking about, pal? In LA, dude? No, ain't gonna happen, bro.
He commented,
That thing is not beautiful. It's one of the ugliest babies I've ever seen. Can't help but wonder how much meth this stupid bitch smoked while she was pregnant to create that monstrosity.
he also used
You know, I wanted to have empathy towards Elliot, but when I didn't know he said shit like this. You're talking to kids, but like babies? That's crazy.
Hey, you used to see the Safety Spurs in videos?
Yeah, it's up on. No, I got this.
God.
No, it's fine.
But I'll
No,
that's
don't
about
worry.
to you.
No, it's
I'll
fine.
bring you something.
That's fine.
account to live out a fantasy life in which he was tall, strong, intimidating, respected, and admired.
You're the one trolling. You won't even show your ugly face. I am the superior. If you saw me in real life right now, you would cower under a rock. Ha 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 ha. I am a very beautiful man. And white people worshipped me at school. They all looked at me with envy when I pulled up in my BMW. My family is very rich, and I will impregnate lots of beautiful blonde white women and create superior Eurasian children who will grow up with lots of money and bully your ugly, degenerate children. if they
You
Yay!
want to
ever stop.
comment
Men
on
are
that?
half white, half Asian.
Yay!
What do you got to say to that, pal?
That's some weird supreme race stuff that you even like.
Who
you know,
talks like that?
clearly got
I've
problems.
never met someone who talks like this, who said stuff like that.
Dude, that's too crazy.
That's why he's Elliot Walker, dude.
Are the most beautiful. We are the new master race above both whites and Asians. You are just jealous. Fall back into your hole, you pathetic woman.
Despite their pride trying to take in his half,
Full transparency. Like shows in this neck of the woods. I gotta go to that show here in a little bit, so I'm checking to see how far away it is. 5 minutes away, brother. That's perfect.
white, half-Asian heritage, he seemed to have nothing but animosity towards Asian men, writing things like,
Why does this guy refer to himself as an Asian guy? He is Eurasian, not Asian. We Eurasian men should be different and shouldn't be associated with Asian men at all.
and in his figures,
Hey, what do you mean by that, pal?
Yeah. You got a
So-
problem?
The cold-blooded Korean guy ain't good enough for you? Wow.
feared irony, he posted,
I looked at all
If Jeremiah and Phoebe breed, they'd make super Eurasian babies.
let's pretend you didn't read that. Your comments on your channel. They are all immature, and some of them are all capital letters. No way are you mature enough to have a daughter. And if you do have a daughter, why are you spoiling her with a Mercedes? Whenever I see spoiled brats driving around in luxury
Shout out to Dub Scouts. Kiss. Hell yeah.
Yeah, we love Kiss the band.
brands,
God gave rock and roll to you. Gave rock and roll to you. Put it in the soul of everyone. Oh, there is God. Yes, I don't want to get
I
you.
think they meant that they wanted, it was actual shit. I wonder what kind of idiotic parents they must have to spoil them so much. Now I know. By the way, I'm 21, and I drive a Maserati, which I bought with my own money. Is that nice?
Maserati?
It's one of the
I don't know about that.
expensive cars.
Really?
Yeah, 250,000
Oh,
sometimes.
shit.
Yeah,
Maserati.
quarter million,
13,
baby.
Elliot was thinking seriously about the day of retribution and when it might take place. He felt the need to buy a second-hand gun and set his eyes on a 6-hour P-22-6. It was a lot more expensive than the last.
Wow.
Stanky Poots playlist just quoted my favorite Kiss song. Gonna give it all to you.
I don't know any Kiss.
All I lately,
Shout it. The Dub Scout. Shout out Dub Scout.
the love and you, baby. You must stay for loving me. I can't get enough, baby. Can you get enough of me? I'm gonna give it all to you.
3-4-part series.
It's gonna be at least a 3 or 4 part.
But he didn't care about price. He started asking each of them for money separately. He had quite a bit coming in. The only time Elliot really felt good around this time was when he went back home to see his parents. He particularly liked seeing his brother Jazz, and often took him out in his dad's Mercedes. He took him to all of the playgrounds and parks he used to frequent in his childhood. Slowly, though, Elliot began to realize how different Jazz was from him. When Elliot was that age, he was short, weak, and very shy. Jazz was quite the opposite, easily going up to other kids and making friends. Gradually, Elliot began to feel jealousy towards his younger brother. He tried to suppress the feelings until one point when Jazz asked him if he had a girlfriend. He exploded in anger towards his younger brother for even asking. While home, he decided to hang out with Philip and Addison.
Can I tell you a story about growing up with Bob? Because I've never seen him bring over a girl, but then one time he went to his girl to use the bathroom and the soft girl.
What were they doing?
I don't know the girl so much, but yeah.
Did they have a sock on the door?
No.
Then once again, it was bittersweet, as the last time he hung out was when Elliot cried in front of them at the museum.
I love you too, man.
I have to go to this show.
Okay. Hey, say goodbye to Jeremiah. This is a special treat. We're gonna stay on a little bit longer.
Yeah, and I'll come do another one.
Yeah, hell yeah. Anything else? Any words you want to say about
Hey.
Elliot Rogerson?
I just want to say I love this guy right here. Support this guy.
I'll peep out his cat on the spot with Shank and Coriana Loco and John Goblicon.
He's on, yeah.
John Goblicon's on there too, y'all. So if anything, tune in for that.
But anyway, love to my brother Stevie. Keep supporting his.
All right.
I think these should be called Stevie Streamies. Like Streamy Weebies?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Something like that.
Streamy Weebies.
Yeah.
Streamy Weeby Thursdays? I don't know. Something like that. Alright. I love you guys.
Love you.
Keep showing
Yeah,
love
yeah.
to my brother. I can't wait. Dude, I'll put on some weight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love you guys.
I love it. Yeah. Keep talking. Hey, that was cool, huh? All right. So again, sorry for all the pauses, but I think we might have to make this a 3-part series. We're gonna go probably 40 minutes long and 30 seconds.
They decided to head out to Santa Monica. While driving, Elliot saw plenty of
Shout out to Jared Watkinson's When You Come to the East Coast, Providence, Mrs. U Buddy, and comedy. Shout out to Larry.
beautiful blonde women walking down the streets. Addison could see how enraged Elliot was towards the women, but Elliot didn't care. He fantasized about running them all over in his dad's car, feeling a little bit giddy at the thought. Elliot definitely hated all of the men out there for stealing the women he felt were rightfully his, but he had grown to hate the women even more. He felt that something within them was flawed, and that their brains were wired wrong.
After going to college for 2.5 years and seeing all the horrific sights I've seen there, mainly all the young couples walking out, the guys who actually have so much girls, I concluded that females have a very broad privilege and affection. Every time I drive around the area of college, or just walk through the college, I see that all the beautiful girls, those who are the big, obnoxious, boisterous, beefy jock types.
I think another problem with Elliot, I think he should have lowered his standards a little bit as well, because I think he was going for the 10s, right? Because he keeps saying blonde bombshells, okay? I think if he would have lowered his standards a little bit, I don't know, but he had a lot of things going against him. Number one being communication. He didn't know how to communicate.
Girls should be going for more intelligence, sophistication, men who are civilized, men like
He wondered if their choices would lead to a bleak future in which mankind grew more and more stupid and barbaric over time due to their choice.
I know he had a BMW, could have had, like, again, I just learned what a Maserati is. He could have had a Maserati. It would have been, the outcome would have been the same.
He fantasized about quarantining women far away from the rest of society.
I had nothing left to live for except revenge. Women must be punished for their crimes of rejecting such a magnificent gentleman as myself. All of those popular boys must be punished for enjoying heavenly lives and having sex with all the girls having sex and virginity.
Elliot began to search for like-minded people online, and that's when he came across a few websites, mainly Forever Alone and PGA TOUR. These were websites dedicated to the new and growing incel movement. Elliot found them depressing but enlightening. He even tried to show the website to his parents, feeling they might be able to understand why he feels the way he does. His mother said that she didn't even bother to give him a good look. Peter had said that he was astonished at the negativity on the site, telling Elliot not to get involved.
If you were his father as well, and you saw these things happening to your son, wouldn't you try to get him like a dating coach or some kind of counselor? I don't know. I just thought of that.
Elliot did not listen. He became even more dedicated to getting revenge against the society he felt had wronged him. He knew very well that, if he were to carry out this revenge plot, he wouldn't be making it out alive. He absolutely refused to go to prison, so he'd have to take himself out before getting arrested. He needed a date and time to keep himself on track. As for location, he felt the streets of Isla Vista were perfect. They were always flooded with young couples on their way to parties. When it came to the date, he figured it would have to be on a regular party weekend, sometime during November of...
I mean, look at that party scene. I mean, even if you weren't Elliot, I would feel kind of overwhelmed. I'd want to just chill at home and play video games. I don't know if I'd want to go out. I mean, that's a lot of it.
13 seemed like a fine idea. This meant he would have 5 months to prepare. He started getting nervous. Did he really want to die? Well, no, but he felt there were no other options left.
Shout out to Braden. Yeah, I think Elliot would have benefited. This is just my opinion. I think he might have benefited from marijuana. Maybe it would have chilled him out. I don't know.
Instead of simply reconsidering his options, he blamed the women. They were the ones who pushed him this far, he thought. If only one of them had paid attention to him, it wouldn't have turned out this way. Upon arriving home to visit, Elliot's parents insisted that Elliot meet with a counselor to act as somewhat of a life coach to him. He got set up.
I just said that. See, they're on the same tip. Yeah, counselor.
Up with a man named Gavin. Gavin was only a few years older than Elliot, acting more like a friend. The two would often go to restaurants and sometimes hike, but Gavin tried to listen to Elliot talk about his hardships back in school.
Yeah, if he could have had some kind of like mind-altering experience. I'm not trying to promote drugs. I'm just saying, in his circumstance, I think he might have benefited from that. If he would have done, like, let's say he ate like mushrooms or something, and he had like this revelation, it might have gave him like a mind shift You know what I mean?
Gavin confirmed that, yes, women do tend to gravitate towards the John Smith. That was an unfortunate reality at that school. While having talked about this, Elliot felt some nearby girls were checking Gavin out.
Even if he like microdosed, I think maybe that could have done something for him. I'm just saying. I'm talking about primarily just Elliot, his situation.
He got set up with a few counts.
Again, like some like ayahuasca or like mushrooms and whatever.
Counselors back in Santa Barbara to help him out as well. They took him out and helped him practice socializing. One of these was a man named Carlin. Elliot decided to ask him if he ever slept with any girls in Isla Vista. He became very cold. He was further enraged that Carlin himself was half Hawaiian and half Mexican, and that Elliot found him quite ugly. Another counselor was a woman named Sasha. She was
But who, another thing I noticed about Elliot, who does that? Like, who looks at another man, even if the man was attractive, and just, like, hates, If anything, like, why would, I just think that's very weird.
She was 1 year older than Elliot and the first girl he ever interacted with in the area. Not only that, she was a good woman. Despite the fact that she was getting paid to talk to him, he couldn't pass up the chance.
What's up, Def Jam?
Even though it wasn't a real date, he enjoyed it. This kingpin made a bit of hope. After all, he was able to talk to Sasha just fine, so why not other girls? He started working out more and more in his bedroom in order to get some confidence.
Shout out to Dub Scott. He should have went to Macau. Ain't that right? There you go.
Attractive. He was going to try harder than ever before. He even went back to class for the first time in months, attending the summer class. He wanted to, in his mind, give women one more chance to prove themselves to him. He dropped the class after 1 week when girls talked to other boys instead of him. Elliot had one last idea, one last method to lose his virginity, a wild college party. This decision would lead him to the worst day of his entire life.
Look, that's the house I got beat up at. And I walked in on the party.
Saturday night, July 20th, 2013, just a few days before Elliot's 22nd birthday. This is the version of the events that transpired according to Elliot's manifesto. He went out on the town with one last-ditch effort to get laid. He was far too nervous to go without some help, so he downed a few shots. A few too many shots.
I'm just saying, it's what, like, if he's trying to meet girls as well, like, why would you roll solo? Like, shouldn't you be rolling with at least one homie? I'm just saying that, and then he's driving in his BMW. I think in his mind, he's probably thinking, oh, if they see me in this BMW, then they'll want to date. But again, that's a lot of thinking.
He shambled up to Del Quiet Street, smashed out of his mind. He walked right up to a rager of a house party. They had a DJ playing hip-hop music and a ping-pong table set up for beer pong, something Elliot found very cluey. He wandered around for a while, drunkenly feeling quite confident. He grabbed himself some beer, only making things worse. He quickly got angry that no girls came up to talk to him. That's when he noticed something. A cute white girl talking to an Asian man. He couldn't believe it. He had always blamed being half Asian on why girls didn't like him, but here was a full-blooded Asian man talking to the exact sort of woman he wanted.
So this motherfucker hated Asians if other full Asian men were talking to women, especially white women? Interesting.
He angrily walked away, knocking his shoulder into the Asian guy on purpose, acting as cocky as he could. The Asian man and the white girl felt that he likely didn't do that on purpose, as he seemed very drunk. They told him he should try and go get some water. Elliot refused, angrily storming out at him.
Dude, don't hate on the Asians. That's kind of weird. You're not Asians. Why would you get that?
It's the front yard where most of the action is. Then things calmed down. He ran back into the house and insulted the Asian man to let off some steam before running outside again. Elliot then climbed up onto a wooden ledge that bordered the street. He looked down on all the happy partygoers that would certainly fall. He let his arm out, pointed his finger, and started pretending to shoot them. This made him laugh. After a bit, a few other people actually climbed up onto the ledge with him. Elliot, rather than try to make friends began to shout insults at all of them. They laughed and insulted him back, likely just humoring him as he was very drunk.
If you saw a kid at a party do that and do that gesture, wouldn't you? I don't know. I think that would definitely grab the attention of a lot of people at the party. That's something that I would do that.
Elliot lost, started trying to push